Jeff Court and I'm the volunteer coordinator for the North Yorkshire Rotters project. The Rotters promote the 3 R's, reduce, reuse and recycle. The idea is to reduce the amount of waste which has to be disposed of. It's very much an environmental project and we go to lots of events, talks and workshops. The campaigns we promote are, as you can see, home composting, and we've got lots of information that we give out and offer information advice about these campaigns so people can compost effectively and get the mix correct. The other campaign we've got, which is a national campaign, is called Love Food, Hate Waste, and we give lots of information advice about reducing food waste, which obviously reduces the amount of waste which has to be disposed of, but also helps people save money and use their fantastic leftovers to make really good recipes. Sometimes we have a chef, I don't know if you can see that, but that's Nigel, our chef, who comes along and delivers cookery demonstrations. So that's a little bit about what we do.
I joined the Rotters 6 years ago, following retirement from the consultancy work I was doing, and I looked around for voluntary work to do, and the thing that attracted me to this job is you're meeting different people all the time and you're able to influence people. The events I've been involved in, giving talks to groups of people. So we give talks to gardening clubs, allotment societies, women's institute groups, etc. In addition to that, we do a lot with the junior schools, the primary schools, and they're really keen to learn. Most of the primary schools in North Yorkshire do have a garden and very often a compost bin. So that's really good. We've got some tailored games for them to do. Get them to make their own smoothies from by pedaling a bike which turns the blender on. So they're really keen to do that. A wormery is a form of compost, and they can make a little mini wormery and then take it home to the parents and hopefully get the parents thinking, oh, I could do it with a big wormery.
About composting, and especially about the plastics, because the plastics is a big thing now, isn't it? Reducing single-use plastics and things like that. We've got about 40 volunteers who regularly volunteer. We're always looking for some more, but we've got a lot more interest in the campaigns. A lot of the volunteers we have are retired. Not sure why that is, but obviously we have got some younger volunteers, but they can combine it with work and other volunteering opportunities, but we are looking for a lot younger volunteers.
I think when I saw what the Rotters were doing and the variation in what you could do, that inspired me, especially with the publicity that's now been given to this issue with the plastic publicity and plastics going into the sea and causing major problems.
You know, getting people to actually realise what they can recycle, because in North Yorkshire, the districts, different districts, you can recycle different things. So when we go to the shows, we take a little sort of leaflet and information about what people can recycle in their areas, so people can find out more. But yeah, plastics is something we want to sort of go into a bit more, and basically reducing sort of single-use plastics and unnecessary plastics. I mean, one of the 3 R's are reduce, reuse, recycle, but there's also another one, refuse. So people can actually refuse to have that plastic, and then it possibly might make the supermarkets and retailers wake up a bit more and hopefully reduce the amount of unnecessary plastics. I mean, some of the resources we give out are made out of plastics, but there again, they're not single use. So obviously, if you can get recycled plastics, that's really good, because these pencils are made out of CD cases, for example. So obviously, when you do recycle your plastics, there is a market for them. So we give out bags for life and things like that as well. So it's just about giving people the information and the choice, so they can make their own decisions, and obviously dispose of it if plastic's in the right way, whether it's recycling and black plastic trays you can't currently recycle because they've not got the technology to recognise that it's a black plastic tray when it's on their black conveyor belt. So those need to go in the actual regular bin, which people aren't aware of. Yeah. So it's making sure people recycle correctly, but and put the right things in, and just making people more aware, really. So
yeah, most people are attracted to the stall by things we've got on the stall, free recipe cards and things like that. And once you get talking to them, then they get quite interested and say, oh yeah, I'd like a compost bin, I'd like to try it. So it's really good getting people hooked. But there are more people, younger people, say they bought a house with a garden, they do want to get into this. It's becoming more popular, so it is becoming more popular, so we're spreading the word to that younger generation.
Yeah, which is really good, isn't it? To get people interested in the environment and get people sort of composting more and thinking about using up the leftovers and recycling more. The young people are really, especially the children, when we go to the schools and things, they're really into it and really interested, and hopefully that's really good for the next generation as well.